Hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. In this video, we're going to talk about the 3 ways you know that the universe is testing you before your manifestation is about to arrive. So I kind of don't like the word testing because I think the universe is love and it loves us, and it's not really ever testing us or wanting us to fail in any way. But I do believe it provides a challenge, and it's saying, hey, do you trust me? Do you really trust that I love you and I only want the best for you, and that when things are going wrong, do you lean into the fact that I got your back? I believe that's how the universe, love, grace, God talks to us. And I believe it sends us these 3 things to see how well we trust, and if we can really find that sense of I'm okay during any chaotic thing that's happening. So I'm going to share my 3 things right now. You ready? The first one is sudden obstacles. All of a sudden, you're going somewhere, you're supposed to go somewhere, and you just have this big thing that's in the way saying, no, you're not going to go this way. And it's a sudden obstacle. It's something that's blocking you from where you want to go or where you think you need to go. You're given the opportunity to face a challenge. And how are you going to handle it? Are you going to handle it with grace and compassion and say, okay, I'm not going to get frazzled here. I trust that I'm being put in the situation to learn something, to become aware of someone who's maybe not healthy for me. There's always clarity in obstacles, okay? So the first one is sudden obstacles. Here's a quick example. My cousin was once going to this event, and a guy asked her to go who works with her company, and she was currently working for this one company that was very safe and easy, and she wasn't really like pressed to the max. She was making good money. And this guy kept pressing her like, hey, you need to go to this event with me. And it was kind of like learning about a new company and a new way of doing that kind of business. And she was kind of resistant and kind of was like, I don't really want to go. And, you know, me hearing this story, I'm like, no, go, be a yes girl, just explore every option. But I didn't have the chance to talk to her because I didn't hear about the story until after it happened. So I wish I would have been there to help her. So he was convincing her to go. She goes. He ends up getting like a flat tire, or he gets stuck in traffic. I forget what happened, but there was an obstacle and he now was not going. And she's now going to this thing that he dragged her to, and she's by herself. And she was pissed. She was like, what am I doing? But whatever, I'm here. You know, she drove like a half an hour into the city to go. And to this day, that was the single best decision she's ever made, because she ended up meeting somebody at that event that helped her transfer from one company to another. And this company's mission is all about purpose and passion and love and supporting community, where her other company was just kind of like doing mediocre work. I believe it was in real estate. So this company just had a different mission. It had a different purpose behind it. And she ended up hopping companies. She felt so inspired. She was so open to being there because she was by herself. She kind of had to open herself up to talking to strangers. And it literally changed the course of her life. And now her abundance is through the roof. She just bought this amazing beach house. It's 3 stories on the bay. And because she made that leap and that jump, because she went to that event and that obstacle, that guy not going, she changed her life. She allowed a manifestation to come in, and she was fearful. She did not want to go to that event alone, but she went because she thought he was going. And then the universe threw him out the window and was like, no, girl, you're doing this on your own. Trust us. We got you. So that's an example how a sudden obstacle, something that she thought was going so wrong, like, why am I going to this event if he's not going to be there? What's the point? But meanwhile, the universe was moving him away and putting her in that situation because it knew where her future self wanted to go. So we have to trust when things are kind of being pulled away or changed or whatever it is. It's an obstacle, but it's here for us. Okay, the second one kind of relates to that. It's called a change in plans. So there might be some sort of, I don't know, maybe you're supposed to go to dinner at a certain time, or maybe you're supposed to go on this trip, and then a week before it happens, everything gets canceled, and you're like, what the heck? What is going on? So here's an example. My lovely mentor, she's fabulous, and she was supposed to go overseas. She was catching a flight one morning. I was supposed to take her to the airport. Well, she ended up testing positive, but had no symptoms for COVID. And she was like, I don't know why this is happening. We're supposed to go overseas to this wedding, and I can't believe this. It's the day of the flight, and she now cannot go. She has to cancel her entire trip with her husband. And then she called me and she's like, Michelle, you need to get tested. And then I had to be out of work because my test wasn't coming back until later. So it ended up being this like big chain reaction, which it was beneficial for me in my life. And listen up, this is how it was beneficial for her. Her husband, who's a little bit older, he's probably like in his 80s. The time that they were supposed to be on their long flight overseas, I believe they're going to Italy from the States, he ended up having an emergency tooth surgery at the time that they were supposed to be on the plane. So the universe made her test positive, and she didn't even have it. She had no symptoms. And the universe guided them to stay put because it knew that her husband is older. He's not well. If he would have been on a plane with the cabin pressure, with tooth issues, it would have been a nightmare. And then having dental work done overseas in another country, right? That would have been a mess. So the universe changed their plans to protect them. So when things like that are happening to you, relax. Don't get like, she could have totally lost her mind being like, my entire trip is canceled. I'm missing the wedding. I might not get my money back. She could have lost her mind, but she's on this path. She's my mentor. She knows all of this. And she just was like, I trust that God is keeping us here for a reason. And then a few hours later, boom, he's having surgery on his mouth. So we have to lean into when the universe is testing us and it's throwing us these challenges, the sudden obstacles, the change in the plans, there's a meaning behind it. It is either keeping you safe, redirecting you to transform your life in another job in some way. Maybe you're going to meet your soulmate somewhere, but we have to lean into and trust those obstacles and those change of plans are here for us. And then the final one on my little notepad is the need to give something up. So it could be money, it could be a job, it could be intangible, it could be time, it could be energy, it could be your effort. You're needing to sacrifice something in order for something else to arrive. And I talk about this all the time. There's a cute little picture that I posted on my Instagram, and it's a little girl holding a teddy bear, and then Jesus is in front of her, and he's got this monster teddy bear behind him. And he's like, hey, little one, like, if you give me that teddy bear, I'll give you this big one. But she doesn't know the big one exists. It's behind his back. He's just asking her to give up what she has now and risk not having anything for a little bit to then receive something big. So this could translate into partnerships. If you know your relationship is not good for you and you just know, you know that you're settling, you know that you're in an uncomfortable situation, you know that you're with somebody that does not love you, and you're being called to give that up, but there's nothing on the other side waiting for you. There's no new person. You're going to have to be single. You're going to have to figure out your finances and where you're going to live. Are you willing to do that to receive your manifestation? Are you willing to give it up? Your answer right now should be, heck yes, I want better for myself right now. And I trust so deeply that as soon as I let go, something will arrive within weeks. It is textbook. Within weeks, something will arrive for you. Trust me. If it's a job, if it's money, the universe, I would not have an entire YouTube channel teaching about this if I didn't believe in it and see it in my own life. I took a leap of faith for my teaching job after 17 years, steady income, a pension, health insurance. I literally cut it loose in November. And by December, I was in alignment, starting my readings, doing my Reiki. I hadn't started YouTube yet. That started January 1st. So in 2 months, I was on YouTube doing my thing. And then I started to get more clients and more money. But because I was so mentally drained at my job and exhausted, I didn't have the creativity to sit down and start creating content. I was so clouded by that job that I couldn't think clearly. But I took the leap and I said, okay, Michelle, you can do this. You can do this. And I just sat with no job. I even had job opportunities coming to me. I explored them, but it just didn't feel right in my body. It was like my soul was saying, no, Michelle, you can't go back to like that 9 to 5 energy, because that's what you just left. You're here to do something different. And I would just wake up each day, not going to a job, not making money, but I trusted myself. I trusted the universe had a different plan for me. And then when January came around and I just was like, you know what, I'm going to post a reading on YouTube and see what happens. And I had like 40 followers, 40 subscribers for a little while, but I was like making money with my readings. People were booking me. And then a couple manifesting videos went a little viral. They got like 9,000 views. And then all of a sudden I was almost up to 800 subscribers in like a month or two. And it happened fast. And now my full income is from coaching people and teaching people how to manifest and doing my readings and still doing the Reiki. It's so cool to see that I was willing to let go of my full-time safe job to take this leap to now do what I'm doing now. This was a manifestation of mine for the last like 7 years. I had no idea when I left my teaching job that I was going to start YouTube. Even though I had been saying it for years, I didn't think it was time yet. I just kept saying, oh, it's not time yet. Maybe I'm just supposed to do my spiritual work, help people heal. But it was like something came over me in January and was like, start the channel. And I did it. But I was willing to give it up. I was willing to give up the safety and security of that job. I was willing to give up my time and energy to post content without making a dime. I just wanted to do it because it's what I love to do. And I like to help people suffer less. I want to teach people how to do this themselves. So these 3 signs that the universe is testing you, it can be life-changing. Like the examples I gave you today, people's lives changed. My life changed. And you might be feeling that call to do that too. You might be getting tested right now. People might be falling away, friendships. You might be losing partnerships and friendships. And you're just like, what is happening? In that moment, pause, hand on your heart, hand on your belly, and say, this is a quick little test, a little challenge. I'm going to trust the universe is moving something away to create space. My hands are open and I'm willing to receive the new. I am okay. And if it's me who needs to take action to let something go, like a job or a person or an environment, I am willing to do it because I don't want to suffer anymore. And I believe that that big teddy bear is going to be waiting for me, that better life, that better love, that better intimacy, that better emotional connection. You're allowed to have all of that. Sometimes we have to cut the cord. I had to cut the cord of my job. It was so hard. I love kids. I love students, but I had to say bye temporarily to go do something else and teach in a new way. I was still going to teach, just teaching different stuff and with a different audience. So I hope this video helps you. If you're going through challenges, if you're going through these 3 tests, that means something better is coming for you. Trust me, it's here. You just have to find relaxation during the let go or the change of plans or the flat tires or the icky situations. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Thank you so much for being here. And if you haven't already, join my Patreon to get more of my manifesting lessons. I'm doing a manifesting course over there, or you can book a session with me one-on-one. I'd love to coach you through your manifesting journey. All right, peace out.